Hey guys, I'm super excited today. In this video, I get to chat with Steve Williams, who is the Director of Education, correct? At the
Yeah, just executive director of the school.
Executive Director of the School for Weilenmann School of Discovery up here in beautiful Park City, Utah, which is at the top of Parley's Canyon. So I'm going to let him kind of take it away and tell us all about the school. So
Great.
All
Thanks,
yours.
Nicole.
Yeah.
We're here at the very top of Parley's Canyon in the Summit Park neighborhood. We've been here for 11 years. We're starting our 12th year this year. And we're a public charter school, K through 8, with also a pre-K program as well. And I, as Nicole said, I'm the director of the school. One unique thing about our school, maybe just to start off, is that all of our administration, we are also teachers. In fact, we're primarily teachers who have taken on this responsibility for a time, but really our greatest love is to be in the classroom with kids. So I'm an English teacher by trade, by practice for many, many years. And have also taught some history here at Weilenmann. Because we are a small school of about 570, 580 kids, our staff does many things. And so I've found myself teaching all kinds of things over the course of the 11 years. And in fact, the pandemic has introduced a couple of new rubs, and that is that it's sometimes hard to find a substitute. So I've even found myself this year teaching last Friday a lower school kindergarten art class.
Awesome.
A lot of fun, but not something that I ever thought I would be doing. So it's fun. We're a tight-knit community here at Weilenmann. We really emphasize with our kids the idea of being members of a community and playing a role and participating and contributing to that community. So they all feel like they have a role to play here, that it's not just a place where they come and are sort of just filled with knowledge or education, but they actually come and take an active role in that. We're a very busy school. We do a lot of project-based activities to teach kids how to learn. We're also an outdoor school, so we spend a lot of time out of doors. All of our classes, pre-K through 8th grade, are outdoors for a significant amount of the day, learning and hiking and just becoming familiar and learning about the environment they live in. So that's an important part of who we are.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's such a beautiful spot here. I came back to Utah from Atlanta, and I remember driving up here for the first time and seeing the spot where the school was under construction at the time, and looking at the hillside behind us, and just really excited about the prospects of the school here on the side of the mountain and what we could do with kids here. So we, like I said, we are a K through 8 school.
Okay.
We have a lower school that's K through 5. With a lower school director that runs that program, and then we have a middle school 6 through 8 and a middle school dean and a staff of great teachers, many of whom have been here since the beginning of when we started 11 years ago. So I think that says a lot about the continuity of our program and the strength of our program, that we have teachers who are committed to us and to being here and working with kids. And there are people who really do love kids. It's something surprising when you talk to someone who says, for example, I just really love teaching middle school kids, because they can be a challenge. But we've found that we look for teachers that have energy and that know their subjects well, but also like kids, and that's the perfect combination for us. And we have a group of people here who take care of one another. The kids look out for each other and show concern and come to us when they're concerned about a classmate. And it really is a community that takes care of its members, and that's one of our highest priorities.
That's awesome. You have a great culture.
We really do, and it's taken 11 years to build that. And I think one of the things that makes that kind of culture possible is that we're a school that people choose to come to. We are a public school, but and people get into Weilenmann by lottery. For a lottery, and then based on the number of spots available, they get into the school, or maybe have to wait for a later lottery or maybe another year to get in.
So how many kids do you have at the school? How many total?
Our population right now is about, let's see, we just did our count on Friday. We're about 575.
Okay.
pre-K through 8.
And so for the lottery wise, so if somebody wants to, like if somebody's watching this video and they're like, we really want our kids to go to Weilenmann, how would they apply?
So we have a website. There's a place to begin the process on our website. And then we encourage people to come in and take a tour. We start doing those in January, and those run basically through the end of the year and even into the summer. We'll open that, keep that enrollment season open. And we encourage them to come in, visit the school, take a tour. In some cases, particularly in the middle school, we even have kids that will come and shadow for a day or a half day with a student host of ours and kind of get to know what the classes are like and that sort of thing. So
that's awesome.
And then we run lotteries starting in January. Every couple of weeks, they'll run a lottery, and those are done sort of automatically under the sort of supervision of the state of Utah.
Okay.
If we have spots, let's say we have 10 spots available in a 4th grade class, we would take the 20 people that are in the lottery and randomly select them from that group, and then we run those continually. So if you don't on the first lottery, it's really important to just stay in, because often people will get in on a later lottery.
Oh, that's cool. So how big are the class sizes usually?
So our sections, we typically have 3 sections per grade level.
Okay.
And each of those sections in the lower grades, in kindergarten, we try to keep them between 20 and 22 with a teacher and a full-time aide in the classroom. Also in 1st grade, about that same size. And then as we get up into 3rd through 8th grade, they're in the 24 to 26 range. That's our sweet spot. So
and for people who don't understand, and for people who don't understand what like a charter school is, because you're a public charter school, and I know you have a background of being at private schools, maybe just kind of explain to people the difference.
Yeah, for sure. So public charter school means that we are authorized by the state charter school board, which basically under the umbrella of the state department, or the Utah Department of Education. The Office of Education. So we are, we have to do some of the things that a typical district school would do, like the end of year testing. We do that, and we have to comply with all of the sort of public requirements of a school. But we also act as kind of our own district. So we get to make decisions with regard to specific curriculum and hiring practices here in the school. We make those decisions right here on campus. So we tend to be a little more, I would say, a little more nimble maybe than a large district when it comes to decisions and doing things. And we also allow our teachers quite a bit of room for creativity and independence in designing curriculum. But we do follow the state, core standards. We use those as our guides to decide what we teach, and then how we teach it is really up to us. And so that's one thing. And then we are funded by the state of Utah. At a percentage of what they would fund the local district, each student in the district for. So the gap there we make up for with fundraising and grant writing and that sort of thing. We're a free public school, and so, for example, if a family came to us that was in economic need and applied for a financial waiver through the state of Utah, we would grant that. And if they had a middle school student, their fees, like for a field trip or something like that, would be covered by the school. So
that's awesome.
We're a public school, and we're open to anyone who is interested. We have kids that come up, 2 busfuls that come up from Salt Lake City. We have a good number of kids that come from the Wasatch County area. And Midway in that area. And then, of course, Park City, about 40 to 50% of our kids come directly from Park City and the surrounding kind of Park City larger area. So we have quite a geographic diversity of kids. That's amazing. And that's good that you have that buses, that they still can take the bus up from Salt Lake and from Heber and all those places too. Yeah, we have a bus service they can apply for. That's something that parents would pay for, that want to use that. We also have a lot of parents that carpool, that work out those carpools to come up from Heber and that sort of thing. And if we were to get we're always open to adding routes depending on where our kids are coming from. And we've had routes from Heber in the past and the Camas area. So, and those are growing areas as well. So we're open to that when the need presses it. Cool. That's awesome. So like a typical day, what time do kids start school and what time do they end? Yeah, so we start our school day at 8:30. Doors open at
Okay.
8 o'clock, and kids start rolling in then. We always have a little group at the door waiting to come in at 8 o'clock. And so 8:30 classes start, and
Okay.
we run until 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And then we have an after-school program for kids, typically younger kids whose
Mhm.
maybe their parents work and can't pick them up right after school. And that runs from 3 o'clock until 5:30
Okay.
here on campus. And there's a very minimal charge for that
Okay.
time they spend in there. So that's a great option for parents who can't get up here right at 3 o'clock or so.
Yeah, that's great. Well, cool.
We also, I
Well,
wanted to say, we have a cool thing we started this year in our middle school. It's a mobile classroom.
okay.
And we were able to last year save some money and purchase a van that we have a teacher who's in charge of that program, and he takes a co-teacher out with him. So there are always two teachers. They take a small group of 8 kids out every Friday afternoon from basically fourth period, about 11:30 until the end of the
Okay.
day. And they head up into the hills and they draw, they write, they do some exploring, some hiking, some map work. We really want to get them out into the community here and do
Mhm.
what our name suggests, which is discover, right? And
Yeah.
those are kind of planned adventures. And
Okay.
our first one out this fall, they had a plan to hike through an area that turned out it had been dammed up by some beavers in the area. So they
Oh,
off, rolled up their pants and hiked through the water. And
oh, that's awesome.
that kind of sort of surprise adventure,
Uh-huh.
still safe, but
Yeah.
was just so memorable for those kids. And we get all our middle school kids out at least once or twice during the year in that mobile classroom. And that's been a real fantastic addition to our program this year.
That's really cool. That's awesome. I would have loved to. So I grew up in Park City, but Weilenmann was not around when I went to school. And the children's chalet actually used to be there. So many years ago, it was like
Yeah.
a preschool. So a lot has changed, but it's super cool. And I would have loved to explore outside and had a school where I could do that. So
Well, yeah, we found that even in a place like Park City, kids don't always get take the opportunities to get out into nature. They're
Mhm.
outside, but not in this kind of a more natural setting where they're not like at a ski resort or something like
Right.
that. So we really want to get them out into places where they can contemplate and think and write in a small group setting, and learn to understand how their world, this world fits together and how they fit into it. So
that's
is
awesome.
an important aspect of who we are.
That's cool. Do you have any sports programs or anything like that?
We do. We have
Okay.
a fantastic mountain bike team.
Oh, wow.
And it's open to 7th and 8th graders. It's
Okay.
through a national organization, NICA, and we race with them 3 or 4 times in the fall.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
they go out and ride, I think 2 or 3 times a week for their practices, and then they race at, over at Soldier Hollow and Snow Basin and Powder Mountain and Round Valley, and that's been the most successful athletic program that we've been able to find. In our very early years, we tried to do a volleyball team. We did one and a basketball team, but part of the issue was kids were coming from so many different areas that they had to get home after school, and it was hard to just get a team together and get to games. So we did that our first year, and then decided, many of our kids, a lot of them do sports in other places, and then the mountain bike organization developed here. And Utah has just, I think, one of the largest mountain bike team, it's the largest mountain bike team state, except maybe after Texas. So going on,
That's
it's a
cool.
really popular sport, and so we do have that program. And then we have a Girls on the Run program in our lower school in the spring. Group of kids under the teacher supervision go out and run and then participate in that activity, which is just a fantastic organization here in Park City. So,
Well, that's awesome. You pretty much answered all my questions.
oh, good.
And it sounds like an amazing school. Is there anything else you want to share with the world?
Well, I do think we're an amazing school, and I'm a little biased, but I've been here since the beginning. But I do think that especially kids that maybe haven't found a home in their local neighborhood school, come and check us out. And I think everyone that comes into our building notices 2 things. One is we have kind of a cool building. Architecturally, it's an interesting building. But beyond that, and I think much more important, they always come away talking about the way they're treated by people at Weilenmann.
That's
And
awesome.
they are welcomed, and the friendliness and the support. And I feel like that is core to who we are. So I encourage people to come and make an appointment, make a visit, and come check us out.